Hello, I'm Steve. Welcome to the Patio Heat channel, where we create visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for outdoor comfort. Our one-on-one customer support helps you make the best decisions for your applications. We strive to earn your business. Visit our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Now let's get heating. All right, so here we have this covered patio with a screened-in room area. This is a residential application. Let's go ahead and look at any obstacles we might have. So first of all, we have a fan here in the center, and then we also have some, I believe, are going to be recessed lighting fixtures inside here. And then also we do have a doorway that slides left to right, and of course there are screens on this screened-in patio. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the screens. It's just easier for me to maneuver through there, but there are screens there. We have some skylights up here that we need to be aware of. Obviously, we don't want to obstruct the lighting coming in from the skylights as well. So not sure about the configuration of the side elevation right here, for instance. This could be open, it might be closed like I show it here, but I'm going to hopefully it'll be closed so that we can make some attachment points. So if that's changed, we'll come back and rearrange that. So all right, let's go ahead and look at the overall dimensions here. Basically, we've got 21 feet by 10 feet. We have a height back here that at the top of the ceiling up here, which would be inside here, I have that at 10'2", and the ceiling height right here, I have it 7'8" 3/8. Back here, I have the doorway at about 7 feet off the finished floor, and then we do have the swinging door that goes to the outside as well. And I think that's about it. So let's go ahead and turn that off and go with the first option that I looked at as a possibility, and that possibility would be to mount some units similar to this. So what I have here is I have two of the CD 6,000 watt units. I have them at a higher elevation. What I've done here is I've taken the heater itself, and from this point on the top of the heater up is 12 inches. I have this at 45 degrees tilt, so from straight out, I should say from straight down, it's 30 degrees, sorry about that. From straight down to the ground, 30 degrees up. And also just note that, because the ceiling height is a little bit higher up here, I was able to move this one up just slightly higher than this one over here based on the fact that there's, a drop right there. So those are two 6,000 watt units. The placement of those two units from the center of the room is 4.5 feet from center of the room to center of the heater, and then from center of the room this way, 4.5 feet center of the room to center of the heater. And then over here, what I've done is taken two 4,000 watt units. I've chose the 4,000 watt units just because of the fact that they are going to be slightly lower than this, almost a foot lower. What I've done here is made sure I maintain my so we're at the same slope as the ceiling. I have the same slope with the contour of the bottom of the heater itself. So I'm using the OEM bracket on that. You may have to adjust that and go down a slight bit in order to achieve a better clearance, I guess. The manufacturer doesn't state whether if the heater is sloped, or I should say angled, they say that it needs to be at 12 inches, but they don't mention whether it's flush with the ceiling like this, whether you have to change that angle down to a further drop, which would be the 12-inch drop. Right now you see a 6-inch on this side here. Let's go ahead and look at the clearances below the heater, and let's see if I have that. I don't have that on here, but essentially what I have here is 18 inches of clearance. So let me go ahead and just mark that real quick. See if I can grab that somewhere here. So this will call it from this edge here, going straight down. Let's see here. Yeah, actually I have it a little bit further than 18 inches. So we just need 18 inches. Let's go ahead and see if we can move that. We'll go with maybe 3 inches down this slope here and see how that looks. So we'll go with 2 inches, and that should be perfect there. So yeah, there's our 18 inches of clearance from this edge over here to the bottom side of the heater itself. So similar to this here, what we have is 36 inches straight down from the heater, 18 inches from the edge here. When it's at an angle, the manufacturer states that's okay to have this clearance here, as long as you meet the 12 inches of clearance above the heater here. So looking back over here, we've done the same exact thing. Only difference is this a 4,000 watt unit versus 6,000 watt units over here. So let's go ahead and let me turn that off, and I want to go ahead and show you the footprint of heat with this layout. This is probably my preferred layout for the most uniform and the warmest type of application for something like this. You can see here that we're getting a very good coverage throughout the whole entire span. Let me go ahead and just take that off, and you can see the, we do have those light fixtures here, so that might be an issue with regards to this one and this one here. But this is probably the best layout as far as heat is concerned. So that would be number one. And let's go ahead and turn that off and look at a different option. A different option would be going with 4,000 watt units. These are slimline units. Slimline units don't require the same clearance above when you angle the heater. However, the heater itself can only come down 45 degrees. So if I pointed the heater straight out and then dropped it 45 degrees, this would be the angle of the heater, and the same is true over here. The nice thing is when I pop that ceiling back on here, that again, we only need 6 inches of clearance with that 45 degree tilt, and 6 inches of clearance would be maintained all around with the OEM bracket, and then 18 inches below the heater itself, and that's not a problem. This is just clearances to combustibles. So and at the angle, this wall here, or this item right here, is not an issue. Same with the wall over here. So also, I just should mention I moved this up 4 inches higher, just so we can kind of eliminate the view of the heater from this point of view as much as possible. You can see that right there. And also I should mention that the brackets themselves can be pushed to the left or right to in order to attach this at a proper point. And just to look over here, we have the channel in the back of the heater where there's a bolt that slides back and forth through the back of the heater, so you can maneuver this bracket to left and right wherever you see fit, provided that you don't over exceed the manufacturer's recommendation of the distance that you can go from on this side from left to right, and on this side from right to left. So bear that in mind, and let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. So footprint of heat, we're going to go ahead and turn this off again. And again, you got a really nice footprint of heat throughout this whole span. This would probably be another preferred application. It is going to be the only thing I don't like about it is that with the 45 degree tilts, you don't get that coverage right below the heater. So if you're sitting right here, you're going to get some heat from this side here, but you're not going to really feel it that much from right here. If the majority of the seating is mostly in the center, this would be a perfect application. So all right, and let's go ahead and look at the final application that might work, and that's placing three 4,000 watt slim lines, one on each external wall over here, and at 45 degrees. You need to make sure that you're maintaining the 18 inches of clearance on this side as well as this side, and on all sides of the application. 6 inches of clearance again from this top edge of the heater to the ceiling, and we'll put that on just so you can see this would be the 6 inches from here to here. And then yeah, the 45 degree tilt is the max tilt. So let's go ahead and look at that footprint of heat, and footprint of heat looks fairly decent. It's a pretty good coverage. I would say that the only thing I don't like again is that fact that the 45 degrees will not allow you to heat this edge of the patio. I'm not quite sure if this is the actual seating positions of this application, but if this is, you need to consider that. Now on a colder day, you may wish to push this chair forward a little bit maybe just 2 feet is all you're going to need, or just a foot and a half. Let's just go with 12 to see what that looks like. So 12 feet, or excuse me, 12 inches would give you an adequate footprint of heat on top of that seating position. So on those cold days where you really want to warm up, you can just maneuver some of the furniture around and make that a little bit more feasible for your application. So, all right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, please send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve. Please tap the like button if you find this video useful. We don't advertise, we're not monetized. YouTube does not promote our channel in any way unless we receive a thumbs up from our viewers, and we truly appreciate that. Thank you. Have an excellent day.